So the question arises, what can you use in organic growing? And the toughest thing for a grape grower to stop using when they go organic is Roundup. It's a very addictive chemical because it lets you spray and knock down weeds underneath the wire. These days, modern grape growing has you with trellis wires and grapes growing up. So the area that it can't get to with a tractor is right underneath the wire. But once you kind of grow into how to deal with that, either through mowing, there are cultivation devices that move the dirt in and out and knock the weeds down. Then your next problem in grape growing is generally mildew, which is just a light fungus which grows on the leaves and on the surface of the grapes. Mildew is treated in both organic and conventional grape growing with sulfur. Sulfur is the first stage. Sulfur is fairly inexpensive. It's very effective, slightly smelly, so it's not that popular in subdivisions. The sulfur is sprayed on either as a powder, dusting sulfur, or is put into solution as a liquid, and it's put on the grapes when they're small and green before the clusters start to close. Most of the sulfur that's sprayed on will leave. It'll either be washed off by rains, fall on the ground. It will sublimate, which is the chemical word for evaporation of a solid substance. It sublimates and leaves. So when the grapes are finally harvested and brought into the winery, you may have sulfured a number of times all the way up through, say, the 4th of July. But there really won't be much of that sulfur on the grapes. Most of the sulfur that shows up in the winery, and there is naturally occurring sulfites that come into the winery, most of that is in the berry, in the juice, and that has been picked up by the vine from the soils and brought into the grapes. And then, so those are the sulfur, basically it's sulfur molecules that we're dealing with in the winery as naturally occurring.